is what's best for business.
I gotta go take a big hairy dump.
Oh my God.
Tonight's main event, a tag team match.
Yes.
Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk More Wrestling Podcast. My name is Turbo Tony and we're here with the articulate, the fantastic, the broad-shouldered masterpiece that he is, Matt Marsander. How are you doing there today, Matt?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, did you like the intro? Yeah.
I approve. I quite like that.
Yeah. I would never mess up an intro like that at all, so, you know.
Take two.
Brilliant, yeah. So yeah, we're here, if you're wondering what we're doing here, you obviously didn't read the link when you clicked it. We're going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble, which happened a couple of nights ago. We thought we would add this in a little bit, otherwise we could probably see the podcast this weekend getting a little bit too long for you guys to be able to take time out to listen to a 2.5 hour podcast. I think that may be a little bit too long. So Matt came up with the idea to do the Royal Rumble review here. We're just going to cover all Royal Rumble. We're not going to go through all the little segments, because I don't know if you noticed, Matt, sometimes they do these really sort of bullshit segments in the middle of these matches that are really just shit promos. I know we cover them on Raw, but I think it's even worse on the pay-per-view because they really don't mean anything. But I
can agree with that. I mean, fortunately, one thing we got to miss, I mean, unless you watched the pre-show, was the selecting of numbers, which was just terrible.
They spoke about that, didn't they, during the show?
Yeah, it was just like a load of people just laughing at each other. It's just like, really?
Yeah. They used to actually do this. I think they used to do this on the Raw before, didn't they? I remember they had a skit, and it was really good, where Ric Flair, used every trick in the book to switch his number with someone else. If you remember, he had like number 2 and he switched it with number 30 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and he was ordered to switch it back. I thought that was a brilliant skit, but so nothing along those lines. Nothing as comedic as that Ric Flair style.
Not particularly. I mean, if you just want to see like Great Khali laughing at Sandow for drawing number 3, then that was about it.
I'm sure he can't even laugh that articulately, really.
What it very much was a ho 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 ho.
Who knows? Maybe he was marking out for
Santa.
Yeah, maybe. Or Luke Harper, where he does that crazy little laugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We're getting we haven't even started this podcast yet.
About the pre-show.
We're really going far away from where we go. Oh well, it's what we do.
It's to be expected.
If you guys haven't caught any of this before, we did one Let's Talk More Wrestling podcast before, and it was just me. We're going to take these a little bit more informally than we do the usual podcast. That's a lot more. We get to the topics pretty quickly. We're probably just going to go everywhere and all about on this one. We'll let our hair down, which doesn't make any reference to Matt because he has very short hair. So that's the way it is. I've revealed a little bit more about your mystery, Matt. How do you like that, huh? Yeah.
But I'm not a real person. It's the internet.
You are the ghost of Let's Talk Wrestling. That's it. You don't have a physical form. That's the mystery.
That's entirely it.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to this, Matt, before we just totally talk about random stuff, which I know we will be guilty of. So yeah, we'll go to the pre-show. You caught the pre-show.
I did, yes.
Which, of what you told me, was a bit of a waste of your time.
That was a brilliant thing.
Which it looked like it would be good, though. I mean, they had the tag team championship change. Was that at least good?
No, it was a really poor match.
No, you're lying to me, obviously.
I'm not lying to you. I mean, the only problem is like I never thought I'd see, like, on a pre-show, something that's aired like directly onto YouTube, sort of as they sort of boast, and like you'll always be able to catch it here. Mm. Why is there an advert? Why was there an ad break?
There was an ad break. On the pre-show
during the match as well.
Oh, that seems really odd. I mean, you get ads on YouTube anyway. For anyone who knows how YouTube works.
Yeah, but like at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, that's very odd. I don't know. Well, obviously they made a bit of money from that. But it's just a bit odd.
Had to.
What about the match itself, though? Was it of good quality?
The match itself just wasn't a particularly great match. Because of that sort of gap in the middle, it was a lot of sort of chopping and changing and sort of changes of momentum, and then an ad break, and then you just see Cody get hit with a Famehouser, and then that was about it.
Oh, really? So it wasn't any sort of build-up towards the end?
Nothing particularly amazing. It was one of those sort of quick tag finishes. Like Cody had Road Dogg up for something, and then just like, oh, quick tag, Road Dogg gets hit, and then Billy Gunn runs in for a Famehouser, and then that was
Yeah, I saw the finish because they replayed the finish during the show, the last little 10 seconds of it, of them being the champions. And it seemed like a fairly good finish. From what they showed, it looked like it was a good match.
Oh, it's good.
But,
yeah, I mean, if it was on the end of a good match, it would have been a good finish.
yeah,
but...
exactly, yeah. Well, that's a shame. Maybe if... I mean, that's a bit of a shame, really, that the Rhodes brothers' sort of tag team title reign comes to an end in a bad match, considering they've just been laying out great matches since they got the belts, even before then.
Yeah.
Their match pretty much salvaged something good out of the Battleground pay-per-view, but that's a little bit shocking. We actually got this prediction wrong, but we did say on the podcast that I could see New Age Outlaws winning and becoming the heel champions for the Usos to take the belts off.
Possibly, yeah.
And they're vocal enough tag team champions. I don't see them having many.
Everyone loves them. I mean, even you can say they're heel, but they'll never be heel.
Yeah, they still get a reaction, don't they, when they come out? But as
now they are the six times tag team champions of the world.
Exactly, yeah. I think it's good that they're champions. They can't keep this on for too long. I think if they're still on TV past WrestleMania, then I think they will outstay their welcome pretty quickly. But I think the New Age Outlaws are probably quite good as a heel tag team for the likes of the Usos to come in and take the belts off them.
I mean, you've got they got Billy Gunn, good wrestler, Road Dogg, good wrestler, and an awesome mic worker.
Yeah,
and he can work the mic and will sort of work an angle whichever sort of way he's going.
Yeah.
So you'll never not get a bad product with the pair of them being around.
Yeah. They're not obviously going to have very lengthy matches or anything like that, but they'll sort of be short and sweet. We'll see how it goes anyway. You know what direction they're going to go in soon and where they're going to go from here. But no, I was a bit sad as well that it wasn't a good match. And I was expecting if they were going to do a tag title change, especially with how good the matches have been with the Rhodes Brothers, they at least would have got it on the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it looks like they were shot for time as it was anyway, considering even with this small, the small card that they had.
Well, it was a 4-card night, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you can't even class one of those matches as a match, really. We'll get into that anyway.
Yeah.
So we actually got into the main match, and for once they didn't run the what I think is sort of the overdone WrestleMania Royal Rumble by the numbers promo, which they always run. I'm quite happy that he didn't do that on this show.
We got that earlier in the month, didn't we, on one of the Raws? Yeah, I think that was about it.
Yeah, I think they even did it on the Raw before Rumble. I think I just don't know. They've done the same thing. I actually went back and watched a few Rumbles from, as far back as about 5 years ago, and they're still doing that same promo there, the same video package.
Yeah,
so, yeah, a little bit unoriginal.
Considering it's just like so many people, you're forgetting quite a few actually.
Yeah. So, match started, and it was sort of a thing. This whole pay-per-view reminded me a lot of Battleground for a lot of reasons, because there was matches on the card which were good, and the best match was the opening match. I know the opening match, obviously, at Battleground wasn't the best match, but I'm just going on the amount of matches that were here. But Daniel Bryan against the Wyatt, against the Wyatt, really, to say.
Yeah. Against Axel Grey.
Yeah, the Wyatt family were not around for long.
They were, yeah, for long. That was the one thing that I liked about the entire match, was the fact that it genuinely was, Bray versus Bryan.
Yeah, I think it would have done a disservice to the match if they'd just done another running beatdown. This match was 5 out of 5 stars. It really was.
Oh, easily.
This was well worth getting this show for, even if there wasn't anything else on the show. This is the sort of matches that I watch WWE for, and it's not exactly been the first time that I've said that about Daniel Bryan's matches. So,
easily. Well, we had his match with Randy Orton, the Raw after TLC.
Yeah.
And that was just a phenomenal match.
Yeah, exactly. So he pulls out these matches, and he can do that. He's got a bit of Bret Hart in him, I think, where he can pull off these matches with a multiple 5-star matches with multiple guys, and these are the guys that you should be pushing to the front of your roster, and because these guys, no matter what monster, what big guy you put them in, are going to do a good match. Going to get a good crowd response, and this match was full of great crowd response. I mean, the crowd itself on this night were pretty good when they wanted to be good.
Great.
Yeah,
they weren't a simple Baltimore crowd.
Yeah, funny about that actually. I was watching some old CM Punk stuff earlier on today actually, and he does a promo on there. This is actually during his big rise, and he shoots on Baltimore pretty badly. So I was actually listening to that, and I remembered our podcast where we talked about Baltimore. Anyway, so the crowd here were very, very good. All out for everything. This match, like I said, was brilliant. Guys have got great chemistry.
Brutal as well.
Yeah, it was
very good. Like, it was real physical, and there was no sort of hard measures.
Yeah.
in any of it. I mean, sort of like, it was the one sort of that real sort of, oh my god, what the fuck, sort of what have they just done sort of moment was like that Daniel Bryan jumping off the apron onto Bray Wyatt out on the ground, and he's like that sort of jumping, spinning neck breaker sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, just watching that, just like, oh!
There were a lot of moments like that in
Yeah.
this match, wasn't there? I mean, you look at towards the finale of the match where he used Bray Wyatt used Sister Abigail on Bryan outside into the the crowd protector, and that was brutal. And there was a lot of moves like that. You look at even on the outside where Bray Wyatt jumped up and used, basically like a senton splash on the outside. Every move, every big move that it wanted to get a reaction from the crowd got a huge reaction, and they left everything out there. These guys, they really went all.
Oh, definitely.
All. So kudos. These guys deserve every accolade they get for this match, and it's the best match that Bray Wyatt's had since he's come into the roster. And that's without a doubt.
Yeah.
This is miles ahead. And if he can pull out matches like this, then he's got a good future. If he can pull out matches like of this quality and with his character as well, the guy's going to go far.
Oh yeah, it was like, the one thing I liked was I mean, I've mentioned it before, and I know he talks about it, but it's just like how Bray Wyatt, even sort of halfway through a match, still makes it out like he's cutting a promo.
Yeah, he is that character, isn't he? When he goes in.
Yeah, it's like when they came to when Harper and Rowan got sent away, and he's just like, sort of don't feel bad, my children. Sort of like, I can do this on my own, and still sort of preaching to them.
Yeah,
that's great.
One of the things that annoys me about characters when they do these things is when they break character every now and then, or they're not 100% into it when they go out there. Bray Wyatt is 100% just that demonic sort of leader, cult, front man that it is. So, and he is that the moment he steps out there to the minute he steps out of the arena. So
yeah, the moment he goes out the curtain to the moment he comes back through it.
Exactly. So we
even. Like, one thing I had never even noticed, it was something that the other half suddenly picked up on whilst we were watching Royal Rumble. It's a little thing that she loves about his costume is the fact that he's in trailer trash white trousers as well. Just gives him that even better sort of, like, hillbilly cult look.
Yeah, exactly. They got that whole nail down, didn't they? From the moment they were in. But we've talked a lot about these two guys, and in terms of a program building up this match, really, really good. And the fact that even Daniel Bryan lost this match doesn't look bad on the guy because of the quality of the match that they had. So I'm not too worried really about Bryan losing this match. You can't take anything away from if they have a high quality match like this. It doesn't look bad on someone who loses. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So that's.
But you still come out strong from a loss out of a match like that.
Yeah, you look at the likes of Austin at WrestleMania 13 when he lost that match against Bret Hart, but he came over like the toughest son of a bitch in the world. It's not sort of on the same par of that, but it's the same sort of
same sort of mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Yeah. So brilliant match to start off the show. It would only go downhill from there, and it showed with the next match. It was almost like the two tipping scales. We got everything brilliant in one, and we got horrendous in the next. We had Lesnar versus Big Show. This was not a match. I don't care what anyone says. This was not a match.
At the bell rung, officially, it was a match.
No, it was not a match. I will not accept that this was a match. This was a match that me and Matt did not want to see, so I'm kind of glad it didn't really happen. This was basically, I'm going to hit you with a chair. Oh, look, I'm knocked out. I F5 you and I win. That's essentially how it ended. The match itself, there was no match to speak of. There's not much really we can talk about it, really.
No. Well, apparently, I read somewhere online that apparently Big Show got injured the night before at a house show. So I think that would play quite a heavy part in the fact that it was terrible.
Yeah. But they could have come up with something better than that, shortly. But, he took one bump and it looks like makes Big Show seem as if he's one-shot guy, really. I know he got hit with chairs before that and stuff and everything that they're playing on this thing that Lesnar wants to make an example out of him and then that he kept attacking Big Show after the match with the chairs. I guess, that kind of got over the point, but seriously, if we only get so many Lesnar matches a year and this is one of them, I feel like such wasted out of this whole...
Yeah. Sort of like money just wasted away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we want Lesnar because we want Lesnar to really good, powerful matches and a good draw, and he's just going to do that. It's like, right.
But we said that before at the podcast, didn't we? That if we don't get many matches with Lesnar, this felt like a waste, and it was a waste. That's all can be said about it. So yeah, this was over before really anything happened, and for all the matches that they had on the show, this really wasn't one. So all the big matches they were building up to, this really didn't do anything for that. So then we moved on to the only title match on the show, the last singles match on the show.
Well, could you say the main event?
Nah, Royal Rumble's always the main event, isn't it? The day that they have Cena main event over the Royal Rumble is the day I get very scared.
It's the day I get stupid. I know, because I know you sort of... I can understand the whole, your main event is the Royal Rumble, and it's like... It's a battle royale.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Well, I guess here's the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, so I'll shut up now.
Yeah. No, I think they won't have the Royal Rumble, because I think for time constraints as well, if the Royal Rumble goes on a little bit longer than it should do, it's fine at the end of the show, but if you've got another match to do after it, then I think in terms of timekeeping it makes things a bit awkward. But in terms of the Orton-Cena matches, was a big lot of nothing, and the fans crapped all over this match. They
did. No, they didn't take it seriously at all.
No, I mean, it was to be expected, really. I mean, fair enough. If you want to do another match with these guys and you want to build up to a match, we've said before, this match was the wrong way round. They did the singles match after a TLC match. You're doing what is technically, in the eyes of entertainment fans or wrestling fans, the most boring match after the match. You don't build. You've basically given them the match they want to see, and then you've given them the build-up match after. No one wants to see that match, and they didn't want to see this match, did they? Really?
No. And they would much rather have seen Undertaker, Jericho, Daniel Bryan. That's just to name a few of the names that got chanted during the Cena Orton match.
Yeah, I mean,
they were just like, no, don't care, or whatever, go away.
Yeah, I mean, Orton, he's got a history of fans crapping all over his matches over the last 12 months. You look at it all started up the Raw after WrestleMania, the match he had with Sheamus, where Michael Cole got a chant, and he got a chance of end this match and boring. He's had a few of those matches. You look at when he main evented Survivor Series with Big Show, there were chants of boring, end this match. And this match as well with Cena and Orton. What's the one factor? Is it Sheamus' fault, Big Show's fault, Cena's fault? I'm sure it's kind of Big Show's fault because no one wanted to see him and Orton, but Orton's the one denominator there.
The thing I really enjoyed is the fact that there was a "you both suck" chant. I was just like, when have you ever heard that before?
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, they should have known this was coming, really. And this goes into more later on in the Rumble as well. They should have known, really, from...
Actually, no. There was one chant I've just spotted in my notes that I really was shocked to hear.
Okay.
Did you not hear the "We Want Divas" chant?
Yeah. I did, yeah.
It was just like, oh, you're winning the crowd over when they would rather see the Funkadactyls.
I wonder, actually, if someone were to count up all the matches that Cena and Orton had, and then count up how many multi-diva tag matches we've had, which is more? I wonder. That could be quite interesting. I don't know if anyone would do that, though, because they don't want to look back through that many matches.
Yeah, for the sake of my sanity. We are talking every Monday night and every, fourth Sunday when it comes to Cena and Orton for the duration of, what was it, 2009, the year of Cena and Orton?
Yeah, pretty much. The one I remember the whole year that ended, they promised there would not be another match for the title with these two. That lasted a while.
Oh, yeah, it lasted a while, yeah. This is what, 5 years later.
Oh, well. We know how much... the promise of a wrestling promotion could go for. But there we go. But yeah, this match was crapped all over, rightly so. It wasn't a match that anyone wanted to see, and everyone knew the finish anyway.
The thing is, the only thing that didn't know about the finishes was the fact that the Wyatt family would get themselves involved.
Yeah. I mean, rumour had been going around that the Wyatts would be, that Bray Wyatt would be feuding with Cena up to Mania. So obviously this is a way to set that up. And to be fair, when they came in, that was pretty much the only thing that got a positive chant throughout this whole entire match. So the crowd were happy to see this match be ended in this fashion. So
I don't even think it's the fact that the Wyatts turned up. I think it's just the fact that it's over.
Yeah. But that's the end of Orton Cena.
But it was the thing is, it was a really bleak match as well.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, look, the ref's down, and Orton's tapped out. Oh, but the ref's down. Oh, God.
Yeah. But the problem is, right, WWE didn't know their audience when they went into this. They didn't understand their audience when they went into this. And they probably built the wrong match for that audience. If they had different people in there doing that same match, that might have got a fan response. But they should have known going in there that sometimes they do this. They throw matches out there. They don't know the audience. They don't know the live response. Or what they think they're going to get is wrong, and then it ends up being completely wrong. And this is sort of the theme of this show anyway. So, yeah, there's not much really you can say about this. At least Orton and Cena is done. They will move to other stuff now. But, yeah, not exactly. And this took up a lot of time, this match. Orton and Cena. When you look at
they definitely did hit moments where I was just like, we're just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting. So... we move on to the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is one of my most favourite matches of the year. Royal Rumble as a pay-per-view is actually one of my more favourite pay-per-views of the year. This was not a strong Royal Rumble, unfortunately, in comparison to some of the old ones that have gone. Even though they had the likes of Batista come back to kind of beef up the star power of this Rumble. A lot would go down to what happened with Batista during this match anyway. In terms of who started the match, you could pick better guys than Rollins and CM Punk to start this match and be in it for a long term. So fair
definitely
enough. That was fine.
Even though I will admit, you could see come the end of the Rumble match and Punk and Roll, especially Punk, and you could just look at him and near in the end, it's just he's blown.
Yeah.
He's dead. It's just oh, I just don't care. Trying to eliminate him over the top rope. He's just oh.
At least he had reason to, because he was in there from the start. Batista looked blown up from the second he got in there. And I did say this.
Two clotheslines blowout.
Yeah, he came in sometimes you look at when Cody Rhodes came in. I know he came in number 3, but he did Crossroads and stuff and whatever.
He didn't come in at number 3.
Well, he came in quite early, didn't he? I know he came in somewhere along those lines.
I will.
But anyway, normally someone comes in, they do their finisher and whatever. Are you there, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you left us for a little while. Your voice changed into a robot for a sec, but it's fine. Carry on.
I am around.
Yeah. Your spectral power is fading.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So go on. Yeah, you were saying.
But it was quite good. Even with a lot of people, sort of they came in and they really exploded into it. Obviously, prime example for that would either be Reigns or Sheamus.
Yeah, Sheamus came in. Sheamus was probably the one that came in the hottest, didn't he?
Yeah, easily.
But Batista came in, gave 2 clotheslines, and looked like he was blown. He looked like he absolutely. And we said this before. I was worried about him not having the stamina. If you can't have the stamina in a Royal Rumble match, I'm very worried for how things are going to go on from here.
Especially considering he came in at he came in sort of 25, something like that.
Oh, I think it was higher up that he came in. It was quite close to the end. I think Del Rio was 27 and he was 28 or something like that. He came straight after Del Rio, so
yeah.
He looked blown very quickly. No Batista bombs to be had on this Rumble. So we'll talk more about.
To be perfectly honest, he did get sort of left with sort of Batista and Roman Reigns. I don't think you're going to see Batista dropping a Batista bomb on Roman Reigns anytime soon.
No. And that would have been the ultimate sort of nail in the coffin for the fans, that if he had done the Batista bomb on Reigns before throwing.
Yeah, the thing is, when it got to that final 4, it was terrible, because I was I know what WWE's going to give us, and I know it's going to be Batista winning, but it got to the end of it, it's I really want Roman Reigns to win now.
Yeah, the way that they built this match. They made it so they made it so the fans would get behind Reigns, especially with the whole Shield segment,
with Ambrose sort of making the attempt to eliminate him.
Yeah, and then he gets revenge by eliminating them. They made it so that people get behind Reigns, and they were expecting Batista to get a bigger response than Reigns. They obviously did not know that crowd very, very well. As soon as number 30, let's just go. We'll talk about the end, then we'll talk about some of the surprise entrants afterwards. So. Yeah. Number 30 comes along. All the fans were 100% thinking that Daniel Bryan was going to be the number 30 entrant. I agree with them in the fact that it would have been amazing. I think it was a little bit naive to expect him to come out at number 30, personally.
I will admit, I've watched, I've seen some of Raw.
Yeah.
Prior to this recording, but it's just it starts off with Daniel Bryan going on about how I've worked double shift, double duty before.
Yeah.
But I wasn't obnoxious enough to think, oh, we're going to have Daniel Bryan again, he's going to be in the Rumble, and it's no, he just went through hell with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It's not only that; it's just because of the way that the show was built up. Lesnar and Big Show went in the Rumble. Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt weren't going to be in the Rumble. Like I said, when it got up to 30, I knew by then it wouldn't be Daniel Bryan, because if Lesnar wasn't going to be in the Rumble, or let's say Cena, because he lost or something like that, if he wasn't going to be in the Rumble, then Daniel Bryan definitely wasn't going to be there the way the WWE think. I understand why they're upset, because having Daniel Bryan lose the first match, come back as number 30, even if he was beaten up, come out limping, and somehow win the Rumble to go on to WrestleMania regardless, it would have got a huge response. And I think a lot of people are behind Daniel Bryan. So I understand why people are upset. I don't understand why people were shocked that he wasn't number 30. Perfect.
It's like, it's not even the fact shocked. It's like you hear people who've genuinely sort of gone up in arms about it.
Yeah.
And I was really...
Yeah, I can listen. I can understand why people are aggrieved, but personally, I
think it might just be the fact that we're a smarter type of fan, which is like I'm not sort of like just going to sort of like just shit on people, but all I can think of is like you know that YouTube video. It's like, it's still real to me, damn it. Yeah. That's all that comes to mind when I hear like loads of people who literally just want to piss and moan about this.
Yeah, I mean. As for people as well, that people some people on the other side saying this is exactly what they wanted in terms of crowd response. It wasn't what they wanted in terms of crowd response. They did not want Batista to be booed when he won the Rumble. That's right. They built the wrong match around it, though.
To be fair, I don't think they wanted Batista to be swearing at people on his way out. Though.
There was a lot of bleeps. A lot of blankets, wasn't there, out in what he said. But what they did not want Batista to be booed. They're not going to turn him heel. He needs to be face so he can promote his movie, and obviously he's going to go to the main event of WrestleMania now. They do risk having the main event of WrestleMania be booed to shit, the fact that Daniel Bryan isn't in it. They do risk that.
They have they've got time to try and pull something out.
Yeah, they've got time to maybe have Daniel Bryan in that match. I don't see what the plan is with him now. What do you do with him?
Well, I guess we'll see after Elimination Chamber.
I think the only two things they could do is they could insert him into the title picture somehow, which they've done before with guys. And look at Randy Orton when he had that triple threat match with Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. Mysterio won the Rumble, and then Randy Orton challenged him for his spot, and Rey Mysterio accepted it for some reason. And then all of them ended up being in the main event of WrestleMania. There is chance for him to be in there. I don't think he'll win the title and go there. I think he'll come in as a challenger. I think it'd be wrong for him to go in as a champion. But the only two ways they could do it is somehow insert him into the title picture, or have him face the Undertaker. But then. Because if he faces the Undertaker, that to me is just as good as having a title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
they're on par. The Undertaker match and the title match at WrestleMania. So
that's it. Well, I mean, the fact that it's an Undertaker match at WrestleMania is like, the main event is the Undertaker match.
Yeah, and
it's the staple.
The fans have been conditioned to think that as well with the quality of matches that Undertaker's had over the last 5 years. So if he has a match against the Undertaker, that's fine. I don't think they will do that, but it would be interesting. Personally,
we've got a couple of weeks, and then we've got Elimination Chamber. So, I guess from there on, we'll just have to see where it goes.
Exactly. So, yeah, I can understand why people were upset, but like I said, we kind of knew that Bryan wasn't going to be in there. So but I have to agree with the fans for sort of booing. I don't understand why WWE didn't think that Batista was going to be booed. They had built up Roman Reigns to look like some unstoppable. Awesome competitor in the Rumble. For him to get eliminated by Batista when he looked so blown up and unable to stand as soon as he got into the ring, it didn't look well on Batista, so I can understand why people were booing him.
Especially considering, like, you don't give a weak spear to Roman Reigns. Yeah. Like Batista gave him a weak spear.
Roman Reigns showed him how to do it. For a guy that's been in the business less time than Batista, he really showed him how to spear, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, one good thing about this, regardless of Reigns being eliminated, obviously not going to WrestleMania, I didn't think he would win anyway, but he came out looking like $1 million at the end of this match, breaking the record for the amount of eliminations in a Royal Rumble. That's going to be
13.
I doubt that'll be topped anytime soon. So,
well, I think it's going to be it's 13's at that sort of level where I don't think it will be topped. Because otherwise it could, but then it just looks stupid.
It would have to be some guy that comes in there just uber dominant from word one. It wouldn't be an entertaining Rumble to watch if that was the case, sort of thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because to get more than that, you're eliminating more than over half the competition.
Yeah. And then, I understand, yeah. But, I mean, the way they built up Reigns during this match was good, and he came off, like I said, like $1 million. And this came back to the times of the Survivor Series match that he had, and he was the, he looked amazing then as well. He won the match for his team there. So, his rise continues, and I'm sure there will be a breakup of the Shield leading up to Mania, or breakup of the Shield at Mania, sort of thing. We'll see how it goes there. But
definitely catches that too.
Yeah, I didn't think that Reigns would win, but he did come out of this match looking better than he did going in, so that's fine. I'm not too worried about Reigns. That's fine. Let's have a look at some of the other entrants.
A safe place.
Yeah, that's it. So let's have a look at some of the other entrants. Sheamus made his return, as we talked about earlier on. I thought he would be making his return. We said that on the podcast just before the Rumble. I thought he'd be making his return because it's just roundabout now that his injury would be fine. And he came in, he got a fan response, and he came off looking strong in this match at least. I don't know how long that's going to last. He has to do something different, otherwise people are going to just revert back to not liking this guy. He got booed a lot towards the end of him, ahead of his run before he got injured. Yeah. Because he got very, very stale. I hope he doesn't go back to that whole spiel, because that's going to not do well for him in the long term. People will turn on him a lot quicker than you think if he continues to do that. So, fingers crossed anyway. I know they're probably going to... I don't even think they have much of a plan for Sheamus at the moment. One of the ideas was that he would come back heel and attack Daniel Bryan, but that doesn't seem to have happened, at least not yet. And I wouldn't want to see that match either, personally.
Not at all.
Kevin Nash made a surprise entrance, as Kevin Nash this time, not Diesel, so I guess that makes a difference. I mean, he got a big response. I guess it was a shock. I kind of saw this one coming as well, personally. Are
you going with the whole, what a coincidence? Like, someone who's linked with Triple H has won the Rumble, and
it wasn't actually
two of his guys are on the panel, and the New Age Outlaws won the tag match.
Yeah, no, it wasn't actually that. I think it's because I recently saw a picture of him with that shaved haircut of his, and I thought there's only one reason why he would be trying to do that and post up his look on thing, and then that I put two and two together. No, Kevin Nash tends to big himself up when he's going to be making an appearance or something like that. So, that's the reason why I thought he could be an entrant. So I kind of saw this one coming. And he came off looking more strong in this one than he did coming back as Diesel. He was eliminated very quickly as Diesel. He was in the match a little bit longer as Kevin Nash, but one of the things he said afterwards, which is quite true, that Roman Reigns looks like a future world champion. Fully agree with the guy. But yeah, fair enough. That in terms of surprises really was it. We had El Torito.
Yeah, we did. Woo.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. And the fact that he got an elimination. I mean, even if he eliminated Fandango, but it's just really?
Yeah. I thought it was very odd that the El Matadores were more than happy for El Torito to go into the ring. Yeah, these are the guys that are wrestling each week and trying to get to WrestleMania, but they're more than happy to give them,
They play second fiddle to a dwarf dressed as a bull.
Exactly. So it is what it is, and at least the fans got a little bit of kick out of it. We did see the debut. I don't know how long this is going to last, though, if we're going to see him for much longer, but Alexander Rusev, who was at NXT, made his debut. He wasn't with his handler Lana, which is on NXT. He was alone. And he played a part in Kofi Kingston's little spot as well. He looks good in this match. He had got some time, some airtime in the ring. He looked strong.
I think he got an elimination as well.
Yeah, I think he did. But yeah, he came out looking good. I think in terms of having a first sort of look from the in terms of having his debut, it was okay. And like I said, he played his part in Kofi Kingston's big shock, jump back into the ring.
Yeah,
I'm not as shocked.
That was pretty impressive, but it was expected. It's oh no, look, Kofi's outside the ring, but he didn't get eliminated. That's just just waiting for that. Just you're sort of waiting for the moment rather than sort of getting excited for it.
That's it, yeah. And to be fair, he just got eliminated, about 10 minutes later on anyway. It didn't really last.
Yeah.
That's the reason why when the likes of Shawn Michaels was thrown out and like only one of his feet touched the floor, that was much more huge, just because he actually had a chance of winning the Rumble. Kofi Kingston doesn't, so there we are. That's the way it is. But yeah, that's Kofi Kingston's season done, because that's pretty much the one thing that he does in the year, apart from the odd.
That's it. That's his run up to WrestleMania done.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, and the last of which we saw Corporate Kane come out in his pretty much suited up and booted up. As much as he could be. The camera had a bit of a fail where they were trying to mask the fact that he was outside, and they caught him. He was supposed to come out. But that was fine. It's not too much of a problem, because he eliminated CM Punk at the end of the match. Obviously, they're building to a Kane CM Punk Elimination Chamber match. That's what I believe anyway. They wouldn't be building towards a WrestleMania match with these two. There's no point. Personally.
I think they're going. I think the aim is for like WrestleMania to be with Triple H.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would make sense. To have Kane as the first line of defense, you get through him, you get a match with Triple H, sort of thing. Like I said, that to me makes sense. That way, you've got a nice, decent build up to all the pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania, and it comes to it comes to a head at WrestleMania rather than going anywhere further than that. So.
That's it.
But in terms of that was your surprise, entrance. There wasn't that many when you look at the likes of who was on the panel. You could have had Ric Flair have a little bit of a come into the ring for a little bit. You didn't have to get that physical. You could have had a shock entrant. You could have.
No, we had JBL.
Oh yeah, JBL we did. But what's a shame about that?
Oh, he was taken out.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It was like, I would have liked to have seen him gone in there and just clothesline from hell a few people. And yeah, sure, he gets eliminated soon, but that seems really silly to me. That whole thing, especially for a guy who's he's still big, he's still physically imposing, and for a guy that comes off as articulately and as intelligent as JBL is, for his character to do something silly as turn his back to everyone in the Rumble and had his cut off just seemed really stupid.
Such like the veteran instincts and all that lot. It's like, turn your back on your opponent. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And I like the fact that Michael Cole just openly admitted that the JBL character has never been in the Royal Rumble before. And it's like, you're openly admitting that everyone in the ring is a character, are you? Way to break the fourth wall there, Michael Cole. Oh dear. But
I can't talk about the fourth wall anymore. That's gone.
Yeah, that's it. So that was your Royal Rumble. There was, like I said, a lot of controversy over the end of it. BBC News caught up the end of it. The fact that the fans
I could
really
believe that.
shit
So
all over
on
the end of
BBC News, I was like, wow, the British media is actually taking a care on wrestling.
Yeah. So because a lot of fans were upset, like I said, I can understand why they would be upset, but at the end of the day, we saw this coming. We knew Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be in the Royal Rumble, so you can't be. In terms for us two, we weren't upset because we knew that wasn't going to happen, sort of thing. So we were already prepared for that. But it seems a lot of people weren't, which seems a bit odd. But yeah, they did change the Raw script to adhere to the fan reaction, which I think they had to. Really, they couldn't have just kept plodding along. They're going to play up this sort of. This storyline of Daniel Bryan constantly being held down by the machine, which is fine if they want to do this, but they've been doing this for so many months now without Bryan actually getting the hand over the authority. If they keep doing this and Bryan keeps losing, they're just going to condition their fans to think that Bryan is a loser. These yes chants, they can happen for a very long time. If he continually gets shit on all this time, then you're not capitalizing on the fan response. You're not making money off this guy, sort of thing. You're just
it's just sort of struggling with it.
Yeah, but so pretty much. I didn't think this Rumble was that good. I didn't think the Royal Rumble match was anything that special. I think
I think there were some good parts to the Rumble, and I'm not going to shit all over it, but yeah, I definitely feel like I got my money's worth out of the opening match.
Oh, the opening match itself was 5 out of 5 stars. If there's one match that you guys want to catch throughout this whole pay-per-view, Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt, 100%. Take the time out to watch that match. It was a very long and brilliant match. So yeah. So you're quite happy you're paying the money to see that Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt match?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I would agree. That was a fantastic match. They're the sort of matches that you shouldn't get for free, personally, the way that I would do wrestling. They're the high
Yeah.
caliber matches that you should only put on pay-per-view.
Oh, that's it.
So, any other thoughts about the Royal Rumble, Matt?
I have very few. Except for the fact that I thought they could have done a bit of a better job on the Titantron.
Oh yeah, actually, I actually mentioned this to you when I watched it. The Titantron was very poor, wasn't it? Really.
It was just your average Titantron, which for like Royal Rumble is shocking. I mean, so I find it strange that WWE's pretty much just given up on having decent Titantrons nowadays. It's like, because do you remember like the old Armageddon one? I mean, you would never see the Armageddon pay-per-view again.
Yeah.
But the Titantron for it looked amazing.
Yeah, with like, you had like all the broken sort of scaffolding and all that stuff to.
Yeah,
coming up.
like a city ruin sort of thing.
Yeah, this was a fun. I know they're trying to save money on their arena sets, but the fact is, when pay-per-view comes around, you expect it to be something special. When I saw that setup, all I could think of was, this is a modified Raw set. Why should I be excited for this?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just like, that just looks like Raw.
Yeah, it was
Great.
it wasn't that good at all, really. Especially with the just everything. Even the way that the show's graphics and everything were done just made it didn't seem that much different from a Raw show. So they need to do more to differentiate the pay-per-view shows from the Raw shows, or maybe they don't really care anymore, considering with the WWE Network you get all of it together anyway. So they're just going to be like,
Yeah, I guess eventually.
yeah. Anything else?
No, I can't really think of anything.
I think we covered it all quite well. I think this ended up being a lot longer than I expected. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this extra episode of Let's Talk Wrestling podcast, then leave us a like and subscribe. And get our actual normal podcast, which is done every weekend with myself and Matt, the articulate, wonderful Matt, the spectral being that he is.
The creature of the net.
The creature of the net that comes to me every now and then to do wrestling podcasts. So subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of the episodes. We're going to try and do some more of these Let's Talk More Wrestling podcasts every now and then. I would expect them every week.
I think sort of just so we don't have to fill up an entire time with our entire sort of Sunday episode with pay-per-view talk as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep you here for a very long time. And we want to make these podcasts at least a little bit easily digestible for you guys. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all the plugging I can really do for the Let's Talk More Wrestling podcast.
That's it.
If you want to hear this podcast in audio format or to download, send me a message and I'll make it available on our Podbean site if enough demand comes through. Apart from that, I hope you guys enjoy your week, and we'll be back this weekend with our Raw recap and our review of this week's Raw. Okay then, so thanks a lot, bye bye.
Catch you soon.
Bye.